Hello and welcome to FTL Multiverse. So what is FTL Multiverse? Well, I'll just read the short description from the Wiki page to clarify that. FTL Multiverse is a massive overhaul mod for the game FTL Faster Than Light. It adds nearly 300 new playable ships, over 500 new enemy vessels, over 200 new weapons and drones, and over 30 brand new sectors to explore. The events of FTL Multiverse take place several decades or so after the events of the base game, during which time the Federation and the Rebellion had launched themselves into a massive interdimensional conflict with the creation of the Multiverse Drive, capable of sending ships to the many different branches of reality that make up the multiverse. I have next to no experience with this, but I have played through the tutorial. However, this is complicated enough, and for the benefit of you, the viewer, as well, let's go through it again. Alright. Welcome to FTL Multiverse. This tutorial will introduce you to the key features introduced by Multiverse. It assumes you are already familiar with the basic mechanics of FTL Faster Than Light. And as we can see, the UI itself looks quite a bit different from vanilla gameplay, though it has been some time since I played vanilla. And we already see one new alien species here. So we have Valeria here, who is an orchid floral. And of course, being an alien, and this being FTL, that means something, so has different abilities. Not sure how many new alien species there are in FTL Multiverse, but we shall find out. Anyway, let's continue the tutorial. FTL Multiverse enhances boarding and ship management by adding many crew powers. You can activate them by pressing the power button on the right of the crew box or by selecting your crew and using the power hotkey. So we have, okay, the background here is interfering here a bit, but there is a nano ability for the NG here. You are an NG, right? You're a separatist NG. Okay, so there will be apparently multiple different types of all of the alien species. Not sure if the same applies to humans. Probably not, but who knows? Anyways, so let's press this nano ability, which comes with stuff. Toggle to nano mode. Cannot attack, repair or heal. Immune to fires, suffocation and mind control. Gains door-facing properties. Moves at a slower speed. Takes less damage from crew combat. Okay. Some of the drones and weapons you will encounter during your runs will have a toggle tag, signified by the presence of a type at the end of their name. These weapons and drones can be toggled between different states in combat using the toggle menu, which is here. You can open the toggle menu by either pressing this button or using the hotkey. Well, let's press the button. Okay, so now it starts to get complicated. This is the toggle menu. Here you can change storage and toggle hotkeys. Toggle shipboard drones to be either automated or controlled manually. Switch between different versions of the speed UI that allows you to speed up the game. If you wish to go above speed 2 in the variant blah 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 blah, okay, we don't need to read that. Toggle instant clone and heal behavior, okay, so some nice quality of life features in Multiverse. Eliminating all waiting at the end of a fight to restore your crew. Switch between different states of your weapons and drones. Quit this menu to continue the tutorial. And the menu itself has Nevermind, configure hotkeys, toggle speed UI, toggle instant clone heal out of combat, toggle automation for crew drones, and finally amphi-drone, which is here. Set the state of the drone, current mode defense. Okay, for now, Nevermind. Hyperspace provides more detailed information about crew and weapons when hovered. You can toggle this with the information button. which is over here. Let's press that. Whoops. There we go. So yeah, already had this on, I think, earlier. Anyways, yeah, so the NG has an active ability, toggles to nanite mode, where it ignores doors, resists mind control, etc, etc, etc. And the Orchid Floral has refills oxygen, does not work effectively without O2 systems, takes 75% more damage from fire, slightly reduced suffocation damage, friendly crew in the same room gain 20% max health, repair speed and healing speed. And finally we have the boring human here. Skills improve slightly faster, resilience and determination makes them take less damage from the environment. Let's continue the tutorial. You can reorder your crew list holding right click on a crew member and moving them. Yeah, okay. Crew control in FTL Multiverse is tile-based rather than room-based, allowing you to move crew to specific tiles within the same room to better handle borders or assign a new manning crew. That is a very nice quality of life feature in comparison to vanilla. But yeah, it looks like if you have only one crew member in a room, they just default to the default position. Anyway, I suppose that doesn't matter. Anyways, continue. Multiverse adds a secondary upgrade menu called the storage menu, which is over here. Click this button to open it, or use the hotkey. The storage menu allows you to install upgrades for your ship and crew, as well as track the progress of your current run. Select any option for more information. So here we have do nothing, view your ship's upgrades, recruit some unique crew to talk to them, which we can't do, check the mission report, install an internal upgrade, or install the onboard lab. Well, let's take a look at the upgrades. You are currently viewing ship upgrades, and here we can do absolutely nothing at the moment. How about over here? You are now viewing the mission report. Here you can see any secrets or special events you've encountered on this run, which will be nothing so far. If a category appears empty, it means you have not found anything that goes there yet. Okay, so we don't need to check this, I don't think. But let's click on this one. When you recruit special crew, they will appear here. Yeah, thanks. Okay, how about internal upgrades? Within the internal upgrade menu, you can install system-specific upgrades that give you an edge in combat. You can also install arms, limited to one active at a time to your ship. Okay, so yeah, you can upgrade your ship via this menu as well. So if I click on install arm, you have one arm slot you can fill. To switch arms, you can disassemble an arm afterwards, but you will only get 50% of the cost back. So here we have the first option is a scrap gatherer, which costs 50 scrap. So my assumption is that it's basically always going to be a good idea to get this at the very start of the run. But I might be incorrect with that assumption. But with that in mind, I will, I suppose, when I start an actual run, get the scrap gatherer at the very start, and that should hopefully give me some kind of edge. And we also have these other options. Not sure if you'll get more options later on. I would imagine that the answer is likely yes, but who knows. Okay, and we can also do some weapon things, for example. So far we only have 2 different options here. Anyways, you get the gist of it, so let's click on Nevermind and do nothing. Okay, jump to a new beacon to continue. And the beacon map also looks quite a bit different, or at least a little bit different from vanilla gameplay. Okay, let's go here. Oh no, a suspiciously weak pirate. Who could have expected that? Continue. Before any fight, you will be prompted by a combat check window. Here, you can take emergency actions or activate any combat augment you have. So once again, some added complexity, variety to the game. We have a targeting jammer, it seems. Jam the enemy weapons? Sure, why the hell not? Are you sure you want to do this? Enemy weapons power -2, self-reactor power -2, -1 fuel, lasts 45 seconds. So it does come with a cost, but surely it's worth it. And, well, this is the tutorial, so it doesn't really matter, but let's click on yes. You activate the combat augment. Enemy ships will often have... let's pause the game as well. Special properties that may dictate the flow of battle. You can check them by hovering over the icons. Do what you do best and make this pirate regret meeting you. Okay, so the enemy has life jackets. When any enemy crew are below half health, they will gain doubled movement, healing and door breaking speed, as well as halved hazard damage. Okay, let's dispense with this pirate, this fool. There will be no actual combat here, we just destroy this poor fool here. It's going to take a bit of time though. The tutorial is soon to be done with. Hooray! Jumping to an already visited empty beacon or choosing not to act on certain events will prompt you with this empty beacon event. Here you can choose to repair your hull, interact with unique crew members, use specific augments, or launch a salvage expedition once per sector that can yield rewards. So there will be some utility in actually visiting already visited beacons, but, well, it remains to be seen just how useful and prudent that will be. What do you want to do? Well, let's perform a task or salvage operation, I suppose. And we can only click on Run a Salvage Mission. You might be able to salvage any space junk in the nearby area. How do you wish to proceed? Survey the nearby area. You'll only be able to do this once per sector. Your crew find a decent amount of salvage. They return back to the ship with their haul. Okay, so that seems to have been worth it. Some decisions you make during a run might impact your reputation, which will affect the outcome of certain encounters, notably with sector guards. Each friendly faction tracks reputation separately, but alienating someone will usually alienate their friends too. Destroying a hostile ship does not lead to reputation loss under normal circumstances. Reputation changes here are specific to the context of this tutorial. So notoriety increased ×2 general. Your actions here, justifiable or not, will not reflect well in the eyes of the Federation or its citizens. Continuously perform actions like this and you might start to see negative reactions from the Federation and its allies. For your extra egregious actions, your notoriety was increased twice. Okay, well, that doesn't matter. This is just a tutorial. Open the star map to continue, sure. Jump to the next sector to continue the tutorial. So we can't actually go here. In FTL Multiverse, you will often encounter quest beacons with an exclamation mark in their name. These signify that the beacon and the quest within it are fleet immune and will never be overtaken by the fleet. So there's a quest here, but yeah, I can't go there. Instead, let's go to the next sector. In FTL Multiverse, sectors containing an exclamation mark in their name are special sectors containing unique ship unlocks and crew for your mission. Select a sector to continue. Okay, well, let's go to the Federation Quarter. You've entered hyperspeed. While it can take mere minutes to travel between two beacons, it can take hours to travel between sectors. Fortunately, this delay applies to all ships, including the Rebels. Whenever you jump to a new sector, you'll be presented with the Jump Atlas. Here you can make use of some of your augments to gain an edge in the next sector. You can also read the Federation database on the sector to have an idea on how you might be greeted by the locals. While in hyperspeed, you have several options. You can proceed to your next sector or do something aboard the ship first. Use a jump speed augment. Sector augments will often have a cost associated with them. If you wish to do something during hyperspeed, now would be the time to do it. Okay, so we have decoy bios. Deploy them. Sure. How many bios do you want to deploy? So 1 is free, 2 delay costs 4 drone parts, and 3 costs 8. And once again, since this is the tutorial, obviously it doesn't matter what I click on here. Let's click on this one. You deploy the bios. Fleet delayed by 3 jumps. You can now proceed to your next sector. Sure. Name a sector. How original. Type friendly/neutral/hostile. Okay. Unique. False. Dominant faction. Some faction. Rebel threat level. Dangerosity of the rebel fleet encounter. Short blurb of lore here. Reroute. During your run, you may find coordinates to unique sectors. This is where you can choose to use them. Be aware that rerouting while jumping to Sector 8 will cause you to face the flagship directly when jumping back from your rerouted sector. Where do you want to reroute to? Warning, rerouting means you will miss any quests that would have spawned in the next sector. Okay, well, jump to a Federation sector. Name, Federation Embassy. Type, friendly. Unique. True. Dominant faction, the United Federation. Rebel threat level high. Neutral fleet. Locations of interest. Node 17 Memorial. Since the start of the multiversal war, the Federation has made great effort to establish broader and stabler relations with the rest of the galaxy to fight off rebel intrusions. This sector is perhaps in recent times even more the center of Federation activities than Node 17, especially given the rebel fleets headed towards the capital. Continue with the jump. You prepare to jump to the new coordinates and change your flight path accordingly. You have arrived in Federation space. This may be a sector full of allies, but it is bound to attract plenty of rebels too. Most sector starting beacons will contain a strong guard affiliated with the sector faction. Depending on your crew and reputation, this encounter may become an unpleasant one. Deal with it however you see fit. This sector is protected by a Federation guard. Several support ships linger in the background, offering aid to other Federation ships in the district. Fleet delayed by 2 jumps. So obviously this is still the tutorial, but I wonder if this is in addition to what I already did to delay. Well, we did reroute where we went, so I suppose this is completely different. Not sure though. Anyways, we have 3 options. Request support, attack the guard, or ignore it. Let's click on Request Support. The guard puts you on a secure line with one of the nearby support ships who awaits your command. Their resources are stretched, so your support may be meager. Okay, well, let's request some drone parts. A resupply drone is dispatched to resupply your ship, and we gain 1 drone part. Yay! Congratulations on reaching the end of the FTL Multiverse tutorial. There are many new weapons, crew mechanics, and more to explore, so don't hesitate to take your time reading descriptions in your future runs. Good luck, Renegade. And yes, indeed, I will need to take my time in reading and understanding things here. There will be a ton of things to learn. Anyways, that is the tutorial done. Alright, so let's start a new game here. So we have the Super Luminal, which is the default ship, and currently I don't have any other ship options available. Those will be unlocked along the way. And I will be going with normal mode, standard scrap rewards and enemies. Your score gets a 25% boost. Easy mode is increased scrap rewards and easier enemy generation. Hard mode is low scrap rewards and harder enemies with 50% of a boost to score. And we start with 3 crew members, so this is the same lineup and the same ship. Well, is it the same ship as in the tutorial? Not actually sure. Anyways, we have the same assortment of crew, so 1 human, 1 NG, and one of these things, which I can't remember, some kind of plant thing, I believe. Anyways, oh, I can actually check here, yeah. Orchid floral. The florals, natively known as the Kittleyay, are a friendly species of mostly pacifist plants, which can buff your crew and refill oxygen. Alright. Humans are common and uninteresting, but very skilled. And then we have a separatist NG, so yes indeed, this is the exact same lineup as in the tutorial. The Separatist NG have broken free from the control of the Harmony, a widespread program that controls the NG and encourages sameness. So yes indeed has the nanite mode where it ignores doors, resists mind control and becomes damage resistant, but cannot fight, repair or heal. So I will be making plenty of mistakes probably and forgetting to use stuff like these active abilities in the beginning, but hopefully at some point I will begin to get the hang of it and start making the so-called correct choices. We'll see how far this run will go. So we start with a Burst Laser Mark 1, which is, I believe, a vanilla weapon. I'm not sure if there's been changes. We also have a Pierce Laser Mark 1, a unique assault laser that can pierce additional shield layers. Requires power 2. Charge time 13 seconds, and in comparison to this weapon, so there's a 1 second difference. Accuracy bonus plus 10%, shots per charge 2. Okay, does 1 hull damage, total system damage 1, total crew damage 15, which seems to be the same as the Burst Laser Mark 1. However, this is the neat part, has shield piercing 1, and also breach chance 30%, which this one doesn't have. No cloak timer reduction when firing. Okay. That's interesting. Doesn't seem like it's relevant yet, is it? Anyways, we have a reactor. We have 2 shields for 1 shield barrier. We have 2 in engines, we have 1 in life support, we have 3 in weapons, 1 medbay, 2 in piloting, we have sensors 1 and we have door system 1 for normal doors. And as an augmentation we have an advanced navigator. These augmentations will have no effect with this augment installed long-range scanners. Okay, so you cannot use both. Reveals details about surrounding beacons and allows the ship to jump to any previously visited beacon. Okay, that's interesting. So you can potentially do some advanced map things by jumping to a location you've already visited. But to use that efficiently, I would have to do some planning, which I might not be able to do at this first run just yet, but maybe, we'll see. Anyways, so let's just, I'll just keep the name as it is. Let's begin. You take a look at the distant swirls of space as the stars fly past. This is the beginning of the next chapter in your saga. What will await you next? Proceed with your mission. Before your mission begins, it might be time to prepare before you arrive at the Warp Bay. What would you like to do? Download the Federation database entries. Heavily recommended for beginners. Well, in that case, I suppose I will. I did read these on my own time, but that was many months ago when I first tried this mod for, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. You've downloaded the database, which will now grant you the opportunity to read about various factions, individuals or locations. This provides no physical benefit, but will help guide you on your path to success in your journey. It will also provide detailed tutorials on new mechanics such as the Atlas or internal upgrades. Remind yourself about your mission. You, Captain, are now a central part of the largest known conflict in not just the galaxy, but the multiverse itself. After the conclusion of the original Federation civil war in Universe 0, your home reality, the Galactic Federation defeated Admiral Vance and... okay, strangely timely there, and the Rebellion, securing their control over the galaxy. Keep reading. The Federation struggled with various conflicts, most notably a Cold War between the dangerous Coalition alliance endorsed by the Slug Kleptocracy, Mantis Hive, Rock Theocracy, and Eargen Republic. Okay, I won't remember all of this, but at some point I'll learn some of it, I guess. This conflict finally escalated into the invasion of Aquarian territory, resulting in heavy losses. After the Coalition's attack temporarily destabilized the Federation once again, Vance ran a covert operation from the rebel stronghold to attempt to salvage the heavily protected ancient ruins that the Coalition had been seeking as well. Keep reading. Though the full details are unknown, it is believed that among these ruins Vance's team salvaged the first Multiverse Drive, which he would reverse engineer and install on the remaining rebel fleet. After a Federation raid on the rebel stronghold, Vance and his men fled to Universe 1 and allied with the rebellion of that reality to overthrow the Federation. Universe 1 now acts as the center of the interdimensional, difficult word, rebellion's operations, while Universe 0 leads the counterattack. Keep reading. Fruitless as though it might be, both sides are now locked into a seemingly unending conflict, invading realities to secure the strength and survival of their own faction. Make no mistake, though the rebellion continues to perpetuate the title of a brave uprising, the rebellion is well beyond a simple insurrection. Though intel is sparse, it would appear Universe 1 has been transformed into a desolate, industrial dystopia, fueling the eternal gears of war that seek nothing less than the total annihilation of the Federation and all non-human species. Total annihilation, huh? Gears of War and Total Annihilation. That would be a fun game. Anyways, keep reading. The whereabouts of UO Vance are currently unknown, though sightings of suspicious movements of the privately trained MFK Ace Corps, undyingly loyal to Vance Prime, have been seen all around the multiverse. The MFK Aces will likely prove to be your greatest threat, along with the powerful redesigned flagship model dispatched to this reality to destroy the Federation base and secure a rebel victory. This is where you get involved. As a renegade hired by the Federation, your goal is simple: destroy the flagship, well, same as in vanilla, and it is highly unlikely the Rebellion will be willing to dedicate any further efforts to capturing this reality. It is far more practical for them to divert the remaining rebel forces to a different reality. If you fail, it is certain the Federation of this reality will fall, and this will become just another piece of the rebels' arsenal of enslaved realities. Okay, I would expect that this first run will fail, but obviously that remains to be seen. That's all for now. Time to get on with the mission. Okay, so I could reread the Federation database entries, but instead let's proceed with the mission. Name: Federation Multiverse Drop Point. type friendly. Dominant faction, the United Federation. Rebel threat level medium, neutral fleet. You're about to arrive at the nearest Federation warp bay, a structure acting as a beacon for traveling between universes. Federation warp bay, okay. Exit hyperspeed. You slowly exit hyperspeed, transitioning to a speed safe for landing and steer closer to the hangar below. There your ship is stocked up and prepped to head out into this foreign galaxy. You hurry to your ship, but realize you still have a little time before you leave. You likely have time to grab one last thing. Okay, so we can get one bonus for the run, it seems. So we can grab, it seems like a random weapon, though it's probably like a low tier weapon, who knows though. Or we can find another crew member, and that's going to be a human. Seems useful. Or we could grab some extra resources. Okay, so I'm leaning towards crew member or extra resources instead of the weapon, since I already have two, it seems, quite decent weapons. I also don't have... well, I only have 3 missiles and 5 drone pods. We will get more of those though. But in case this random weapon, well, at least it seems like it's random, is going to be a missile launcher of some kind, I can't use that very efficiently just yet. So that's part of the decision-making process in my mind at the moment. So yeah, I think I'll go with the resources. I could also just get, you're good with what you have, get a head start on the fleet. So is this like the fleet is delayed by 1 jump or something? Not sure, it doesn't say. But let's grab some extra resources here. With some extra resources in your storage, you prepare to continue on your mission. Finally suited up and ready to go, you take a look at your beacon map. Looks like you still have a while until the fleet becomes an immediate threat, so you can spare some time to do something on the ship if you wish. Okay, so I don't think I will, but let's click on this. Do something on board the ship. Oh, I can learn about the storage menu, or I can perform a task or salvage operation. So if I do the salvage, did that come with a cost? Well, we'll find out. Anyways, I guess I'll learn about the storage menu. At various opportunities, you will be given the option to check your storage and do various actions on board your ship. This can happen in situations such as visiting stores, revisiting an explored beacon, or choosing not to interact with an event. It may look overwhelming at first, but eventually you'll become accustomed to the system. To learn about internal upgrades or the onboard lab, visit the database entries under their respective tabs. Well, there's a lot of reading, but I guess the prudent course of action is to actually read it. Here you may view accomplishments throughout the run and lore entries related to them. The mission report tracks bosses defeated, renegades encountered, loot items found, and unique crew recruited. The mission report provides no practical benefit, but can provide insight on just what you've done along your journey. Okay, how about the tasks? You may also choose to engage in various tasks. By default, you'll be able to run salvage missions and repair your hull, but if you find a mine launcher weapon, you can also lay a trap for the fleet before Sector 8. Interesting. Salvage missions have many different outcomes, some good and some bad, but can turn up valuable loot. So my question is, should I always do a salvage mission, basically? Unless, well, there's another option, I guess. Repairing the hull may be less efficient than at a store, but it can get you out of a tight spot. So was this... I can do one of these. Seems like yes. Anyways, I'll get the hang of it eventually. At various opportunities, you will be given the option to check your storage and do various actions on board your ship. Yeah, this is... I already read that. Okay, well, let's perform a task, I guess. And I can only do a salvage. Let's do it. You might be able to salvage any space junk. The immediate area around the beacon yields little, but after diving much deeper into the system, you stumble across an inactive pirate ship. Scans didn't turn up before. So obviously, this being FTL, if I send a team, there might be even a chance of death. However, it could definitely be worth it. Or I could scrap the hull. So there's probably like a percentage chance of good and bad things to happen if I send a team. Do I want to gamble? I think not. Let's just scrap the hull, which is probably the safer option. You are undisturbed as you scrap the ship. Okay, so there we go. And now I suppose we'll probably just leave here. I like the new location art and graphics and animations we have here. Very nice. Okay, so we have supply beacons. Federation Supply Depot. We have 3 of those, and I can only just go to... Well, I can only go to 1 beacon, and that's a supply. Okay. Let's go. You are not surprised to see this beacon has been outfitted with a Multiverse Supply Depot. Many such beacons were constructed by prior Multiverse renegades to help prepare ships such as yours. The Federation officer who greets you apologizes and explains they're short on supplies. The best they can offer is a small helping of fuel and scrap. Okay, so I can do something on board the ship. Maybe. Perform a task. I can do nothing. Okay, never mind. I'll lower the sound levels, the music levels a little bit here. Just a little bit. There we go. Hopefully it's at a good level now. Okay, so now we actually have some options. There's a merchant here as well. And okay, so the enemy fleet seems to be coming now. At least there's an arrow. Anyways, so there is some added quality of life features here in comparison to vanilla. Okay, here's the exit. And here we have a possible ship. Well, I guess we'll go there. Okay, combat time. Your arrival coincides almost exactly with that of a rebel ship. It's hard to know who is more surprised, but there is no option but to fight. You get ready for combat. What do you want to do? Do some last-minute checkups. Okay. As the enemy ship approaches, you look for what you can do. Make last-minute repairs. No. Craft a last-minute missile. No. Craft a last-minute drone pod. No. Okay, let's just fight. You decide not to do anything and prepare... Oh yeah, I forgot about the scrap arm thing. I need to remember that. Was it 50 scrap to make that? I think so. So I should be able to make it now. Anyways, I'm sure it's... If you can call it a mistake, I'm sure it's not a big one. Anyways, let's use both of these weapons. Okay. And let's actually use this in slot 1, I think. Okay, so we have some sort of beam weapon. And we also have a drone. So yeah, like I said, it's been a little while since I played Vanilla FTL. And while I have played and even won on hard mode, I can't call myself an expert in FTL. So this might be a little bit clumsy. Anyways, I'll just activate auto fire, I think. Is it active now? I think so. Yeah, it's active now, I think. We also have the option for double speed. In some cases that will be useful, but currently not. Anyways, can I see your evasion level somewhere? I don't remember if that's what you can see. Anyways, they have an enemy combat drone, so I want to destroy either the drone bay or the weapons, I think. Let's go with the drone bay, I think. And I can just auto-fire, I think, with this assortment of weapons instead of trying to time it, especially against one shield. Okay, that sucks. That sucks a bit. That is an NG though, so we should be fine in the repairs. But yeah, that's the reason I put the piers into slot 1, so that doesn't get disabled by that. Also, yes, even though this looks like a basic beam weapon, I don't remember exactly what it's called in vanilla, but they might have changed it in Multiverse. And I think that seemed a bit different from what I remember, at least. Anyways, wait for that to be repaired and then get that back. And let's continue. I guess I could do this, yeah. Alright, that's been disabled. So I want to make sure that it doesn't get to leave. It's not trying to leave yet, but now let's target, I guess, both the piloting and the engines. So oxygen is going down, but I do have the plant alien, so maybe that's like lowering that speed there. If you kill us, you gain nothing but some insignificant scrap. We are more useful to you alive. Let us go and we can delay the fleet for you. Okay, so if this were real life, how could I trust them? But this is a game, so surely I can trust them. I think that seems pretty good. Accept their surrender. Delays the fleet by 2 jumps. Let's do it. The rebels promise to delay the fleet and jump away. Okay, they have some honor. That's good. Okay, so I don't actually have the auto-healing on, it seems, since Geruk here isn't healed. How about if I click on... Yeah, okay, there we go. So if I actually put power there, then it happens. Anyways, now let's take a look. So the storage menu, let's see. Internal upgrade. So we have plenty of options, but I would imagine that installing the scrap gatherer is perhaps the best thing to do at this point. I don't even know what a magnetic arm does, but let's get the scrap gatherer. You are about to install scrap gatherer arm. Okay, I can check. Well, that makes sense. Effects increases scrap gain by 10%. Well, let's actually check what these other things do. So, magnetic arm. Effects allows salvaging during time-sensitive situations, such as rebel fleet-controlled beacons, and provides an alternative low-risk salvaging option. Interesting. So I can't even get that yet, since I don't have the resources, but that is interesting. I will try that at some point. Probably not during this run, but at some point. Drone recovery and repair arm seem... The title there seems descriptive enough, so let's not click on those. Let's get the scrap gatherer. There we go. So now I only have 13 scrap. Let's hope and assume that I made the right call there. I wonder if it's... Well, if I played on hard mode, would that be... Well, I don't know if it's the correct so-called optimal choice at this point, even on normal, but I wonder if it changes if you're on hard mode, like if you have to prioritize getting shields up, or engines up, or something else. Well, obviously that changes depending on what ship you're using. Anyways, maybe too early to think about something like that. Anyways, I've done that. So now, do nothing, I guess. So, okay, let's click on the onboard lab though. So, the onboard lab can be used to install upgrades for your crew. You can install the lab for free with a level 2 medbay. So, I did read this on my own time at some point. So that's why I am not surprised by this description. Anyways, so I will wait until I have the level 2 medbay to mess with this mechanic. Okay, let's do nothing else. Okay, is there anything I should be doing? I think not. So we took a bit of damage there, but we're still fine. Hull 27. Okay, let's take a look here as well, I guess. So we have, yeah, this looks very similar to... I don't know what this button is. Can I rename? Yeah, I can rename during the run, actually. Interesting. Anyways, this looks very, very similar to vanilla gameplay. And yeah, we don't have any new systems as of yet, but surely there will be some new systems available in Multiverse. Here's the crew tab, and here's the equipment tab, so the scrap thingamajig doesn't show up here at the augmentations list. And we still have 3 augmentations we can have, and 4 cargo slots. I would imagine that you cannot actually get more slots here, but maybe. Anyways, let's go. How did I do the thing? How do I do... Open the jukebox. Okay. Select any song from this list to play it. Selected music will loop until the jukebox is stopped, changed, or you enter a new sector or boss fight. Okay, well that's not what I'm looking for. Alright, so Multiverse also comes with some new music. That's appreciated. So far it's been, I'd say, pretty good. Meshes well with the vanilla playlist, I think. Anyways, let's return. So, yeah, so I think, yeah, you need an empty or a previously visited location to do the salvage thing, right? I think so. So let's just leave. So I can go to a supply or a ship. So they have been delayed. I still think... Well, then again. I do have... Let's see. The Advanced Navigator allows the ship to jump to any previously visited beacon. So yeah, I could do things with that. So I could go here now and jump back here if I wanted to. Not sure if that's actually any good for us. Maybe it is though. I think we'll go... I can't really say north as this is space, but let's go up here, I think. And then loop towards the exit at some point. So let's go to the supply. Okay, and gain 18 scrap. Do something. Let's perform a task. Cannot do anything except repairing the hull. Okay, never mind. Alright. Oh, there's a civil store here. I don't have any scrap though. And I also don't want to sell anything. And I don't think I want to use the... What is it called? The Advanced Navigator as of this point. Though it definitely might be the correct choice, perhaps, but I will assume that I don't need to be doing that. So let's go here. It appears this beacon is home to a Federation outpost, or at least it was, until a band of pirates came by and ravaged the place. There might be some supplies left behind if you can clear out the attackers. Now, obviously, this being FTL, this being a game, this being a game like this, you should always basically be doing something instead of just having these empty nodes, because there is a time limit to the game. So let's attack the pirates instead of ignoring them. Those supplies belong to the Federation, not these damn pirates. You prepare for combat. Okay, so I will click on this again, but I don't think I'll do anything. Yeah, I don't think I will. Alright, so we have... I don't remember what this is called, but it's kind of like a burst laser one. Kind of, if memory serves, and if it hasn't been changed. So yeah, let's deal with the weapons first, if I can. Let's also get... Well, I don't need to be doing it yet, but let's make sure to micromanage this a bit. So I have an evasion of 15% at this point, but if I do this, I have 5% more, so 20% chance to dodge. Anything that isn't a beam weapon, though there might be some added types of weapons in the mod, which, well, we'll see. Okay, there we go. Don't need to be dodging after all. You can, in vanilla at least, also farm some encounters for skills, but I won't be doing any of that, I don't think, while playing this mod. Not if I'm not playing on my own time at least. And probably not on my own time either. But in certain encounters, well, those of you who've played FTL, which is perhaps all of you, will know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'll ignore the shields and let's go for the piloting and engines again. And yeah, now I might be better served in trying to get the weapons to go off at the same time, perhaps. Anyways, they have surrendering. They are trying to surrender, is what I'm trying to say. The pirates hail you. Oh, you've made your point, Mr. Feddy Man. These are your supplies. Yes, yes, but we need to be able to feed ourselves too. How about we make a compromise? Okay, so occasionally you get offered some very nice rewards doing this, and occasionally it is better to just go along with the attack. And usually, if not always, it's, well, at least in vanilla, it's best to just, if you can, kill the crew, which is most easily done, I guess, by boarding them, which we cannot do with this ship, not yet at least. But anyways, this seems to be like a fairly standard reward. So I think I'll refuse this time. The 4 fuel is nice, I guess, but I already have 15. So let's see. So I think usually... let's change targets again. Do I wait with the... Do I need to wait? Actually, I don't, since this pierces shield, so I don't need to wait. Anyways, usually by destroying the ship... maybe always? I don't remember. You get more scrap by doing that. It seems I get a worse reward this time. Oh well. Perhaps I should be accepting surrenders more readily. But obviously there is also a chance for some random things, I think. So you could get like a random weapon by doing this, for example. And also there might be something added, I guess, in the mod. Anyways, occasionally you will get better rewards choosing the other option instead. Also, we do have the... Yeah, okay, we get more things. Salvage the remaining supplies. You've defeated the pirates, not eager to mess with you further. The rest of their clan scatter. Okay, so overall, I guess we came out slightly better off with that. Because we couldn't have gotten these supplies if we had accepted the surrender. You skirt around the edge of the depot, looking for any remaining loot. Though the pirates took all of the weapons and armor, quite a few resources remain. So I'll read these flavor texts and lore dumps, etc. While they're new, but at some point they will start to repeat themselves as of that time. And when that happens, I will probably stop reading the things to save my voice and everyone's sanity, I guess. Okay, so there's the rebel fleet coming in. So yeah, I think I still have time to go the long way around, since they're all the way over there. So let's go here. One thing I guess you could do with the augmentation that we have is go to the exit early and then go elsewhere, because we can jump back there with the augmentation. Something to consider in the future. Anyway, a free mantis greets you eagerly, their broken dialogue challenging the translator to keep up.
Oh, Federation Captain, I asking of you if you are worthy of my support. Yes, I having faith, but I must seeing proof. Fighting me, winning, and I joining of crew. Just knowing be careful, I not taking mercies on you.
Okay, well that's a fair offer. Though that looks like, well, that definitely looks like the most dangerous opponent we faced yet. But sure, I don't have much to lose if I actually get this first run. Well, if I lose it, it's, I think, better to just go with the flow.
Then battle shall commencing.
You'll have to rough their hull up a bit to win. If you kill them all, there won't be anyone left to join your crew. Well, okay, I can't do that, but if I were to do that, then I would get a different kind of reward. Anyways, what I was trying to clumsily say there earlier is that I don't necessarily even want to try to win this very first run if I am unsure of some options, some choices that I'm making along the run. If I'm curious enough, even if they might get me killed, I might be picking them. Obviously, we're still doing fine. This is Sector 1, etc. But anyways. And let's not do any last-minute checkups. I don't think that's going to help. Okay, I don't know what this weapon is. I would assume it's either a bomb or perhaps a laser of some kind. Let's target the weapons. They don't actually have any boarding capabilities, despite being a Mantis interceptor. Interestingly enough. Oh yeah, also I should be reading this. Synthetic pheromones. This enemy ship is filled with unstable pheromones. For each active power bar in life support, their crew get a bonus 15% combat damage. Each level above 1 reduces repair speed by 25%. Interesting. Invasion tactics. This enemy uses special boarding tactics. Rather than teleporting back crew at low health, it will prioritize sending in more crew instead. Okay. But you don't actually have a teleporter. Also, yes, it is a bomb, and I should be doing this. Okay, what kind of bomb is it? It's a fire bomb. That exists in the vanilla game, but maybe this is like some kind of different version of it. Not sure what other reason there would be to change its graphic. Let's vent the area. And now I'll again target piloting and engines, because they have only one bar of shields. If they had more, then my priorities might change. Okay, good. Now let's go for the shields. Let's also close that and get that back. Okay, you winnings.
Most greatest of fighters, as promised I coming with.
Okay, sure, let's get Block. Welcome them aboard. Hello, Block. Okay, you are over here. For a second there, I thought he was on top of Jax here, or the other way around. Anyways, obviously not. Thomas Block. Yeah, the FTL naming system is a bit amusing. We have a Mantis alien who's called Thomas Block. Okay. Anyways, are they any different from vanilla? Yeah, they have an active ability. Let's take a look here. Also, yes, I will need to remember to actually use these active abilities at some point. I'm kind of glad not every single alien, well, not every race has an active ability, because that would be a lot of micromanagement. Anyways, what is pheromone? Cooldown 17 seconds, duration 7 seconds, increases movement speed to 1.6 and crew damage to 2.2. So you should always be using this, almost always, when actually in crew combat, it seems. And that makes the Mantis even more deadly as boarders than they used to be. So while I can't do any boarding of my own, it's very nice to have this Mantis to act as a defensive type. Anyways, let's assign him to the shields. Can I actually... No. Okay, it just defaults there when you're the only crew member. Okay, so I have 49 scrap. Let's take a look here. Do I want anything? There's also a store coming up, is there not? Kind of. I don't think I need shields 2 yet. Nor can I afford 2 shield barriers. That's going to be 20 plus 50. If memory serves, this was in the vanilla game, well, not with every ship, but I think most ships it was 20 and 30. But I might be misremembering. Anyway, interestingly enough, this is kind of similar to the whatchamacallit, the energy beings ships. I think there as well you have these more expensive upgrades along the way, so it's not linear. But again, my memory might fail me. In any case, let's go. You're surprised to find another multiverse ship at this beacon, bearing markings of a pirate vessel. Okay, well, you're a pirate, so very likely this will be combat. The pirates hail you. Ah, a fellow traveler. I'm sure we can both relate over the difficulty of upkeep with these MV drives, yes? Well, we've been running low on fuel, and I'm sure you could use an upgrade. Maybe we can trade. Okay, engine upgrade for 3 fuel. Or I could attack them, or no thanks. Well, it's not going to be no thanks. So this would be far better had I actually manually upgraded my engine. I have 17 fuel. I think I'll accept this, but it might be better to just attack them, maybe. But let's get an engine upgrade. Surprisingly, the pirates do... Oh yeah, there's probably a chance for this to be a trap. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. Surprisingly, the pirates do honor their deal, and your engines have gained in efficiency. This will be a welcome boost for the road ahead. Okay, well, let's go. Can't get that upgrade and then attack them, because, well, obviously, there has to be some kind of balance mechanic. Though I suppose with the reputation system, though this is just a pirate, but with the reputation system I think they could perhaps have done something like that in the mod. So you could do a thing, select an option which kind of ends the encounter, but then do a dishonorable thing which you get something out of, but then as payment for that bad deed you get lowered reputation with at least some factions. Anyways, it doesn't look like that's the case, but anyway. Okay, there's a store distress here. Okay, so yeah, now I have 3 bars of engines, so getting more power at some point soon might be a good choice, maybe. To no surprise, an MV rebel is accosting a nearby civilian store owner. Well, let's rescue them. Alright, so... okay. They do have boarding, but I have a mantis, so we should be fine. I think I'll, again, target the weapons first, since there is a chance. Also, they probably have, like, adjusted the AI, made it smarter, so that they can use weapons like this in conjunction far more efficiently, but I don't actually know if that's the case. Anyways, where are you going, little guy? Over there. That's fine with me. Okay, so let's actually use the pheromone thingamajig so I start getting the routine down. So there we go. Also, did you fire? I think you fired, so let's do that. Okay, now it doesn't help anymore because you cannot dodge beam weapons. Okay, that sucks a bit, but only a bit. So now I do want to get this repaired, but I'm not in a rush. So let's at least not use Bruce Geruk, the NG here. I guess I could use Jack since I don't need the engines at this point. I can also do... well, it doesn't matter, but let's do that. Obviously, a mantis against a lone human is not really fair. The outcome was always clear. Okay, go there to help out. Also, have I I didn't manually at least save the crew positions, but let's see if I click on this. Yeah, it comes with the default crew, you have those. Anyways, go there, and also let's get the oxygen back online. There we go. This being only Sector 1, normal mode, and probably the initial only ship option is probably pretty good to handle the entire mod. This is so far pretty easy. That will change though, surely. Okay, so gain some things. You have rescued the store from their attackers. The store owners offer to trade. Well, it would be nice to get like a reward or a discount. Okay, so I have 72 scrap. There are things that I could consider here. I don't think I'll sell anything. Don't need anything from there. Don't need to be repairing. So I could get a crew member or one weapon. Let's take a look at these weapons. This is new. Chain anti-hull laser. A specially designed military laser that does higher damage against rooms without systems. Cooldown gets quicker with each volley. Okay, that's interesting. Requires 1 power. Charge time 16.5. Chain effect. Decrease cooldown by 3.5. Chain cooldown cap 6, which is 3 chains. Okay, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah, requires only 1 power. I might get that. Yeah, 2 times hull damage on systems rooms. What is this thing though? Light laser Mark II. An upgraded light laser which fires extremely quickly and can keep a shield barrier under constant suppression. Requires power 2 though. Charge time 2.2 seconds. Okay, this is very good, but at this point, if I do get a weapon, I think it should be a power 1 weapon. So either the burst laser Mark 1, of which we already have 1 of, or the chain anti-hull laser. I don't think I want a crew member. I already have 4 of them, and I don't have boarding capabilities. That might change at some point. The thing here, obviously, also is that now if I spend any scrap at this store, I most likely shouldn't visit the merchant here, since I won't have any money. I think I will get the anti-hull laser probably. It is more expensive than the burst one though. But if I can keep this going, then it's pretty damn nice. Yeah, let's get it. In future runs, I probably will be thinking about what I do more. Also, I could have... Well, no, I didn't have enough scrap for a crew teleporter, but that was available here. Didn't actually notice there's a second page at all, but anyways. We also had some drones here, but I don't even have a drone base, so what ifs? But yeah, like I was saying, in the future runs that I'll do with this mod, I will probably spend more time on my decisions until I get the hang of it. And also I should mention at this point, I am liking this a lot. It feels very good, very fun, and FTL is one of my favorite games, though I am kind of done with the vanilla gameplay, probably, with FTL, but I did spend hundreds of hours playing FTL. When I was in school, I actually, well, at one point, pretty often after school, or, well, even before it, did a run or two of FTL. And since this game can also be played very well without the sounds on, I would have like a video of some kind in the background, or music. Anyways, let's go to the supply thingamajig. You have arrived at the Federation supply depot. Okay. And we get some things, and probably don't want to do anything. Yeah, I don't want to repair for an inflated price. We can get repairs either at a store or via an event at some point, and also we're doing pretty well. Anyways, since I have actually delayed the enemy fleet, this is a bit awkward maybe. With the layout of this map here. Well, yeah, especially since this is a merchant and I don't have money, I might get... Well, I will get scrap here, but will I get enough to justify going to a merchant? We'll see. An abandoned supply cache, I don't remember how you pronounce that, drifts through space nearby. It must have been lost during an attack. You aren't sure who it belongs to, but you could use it for a trap against the fleet or try your luck with opening it. Okay, I don't need to set a trap for the fleet, since we are doing fine with that. I think I'll go for the risky option, which is try to carefully open it. So we might take some damage here. It might be like booby-trapped. Boobies. Anyways, once you get the cache open, you realize the entire thing is filled with explosives. It's for supplies, of course, but if you had tried to blow it open, that would have gone very poorly. Okay, interesting. You take everything inside. Yeah, it's absolutely filled with explosives. We get 3 missiles. Hooray! Also, yes, now that I have this thing, which I actually already forgot that I had that thing, I will need to upgrade probably both the power bar as well as the weapons. And the weapon control is 45. So that further incentivizes me to skip the merchant here. But anyways, it's nice to have options. Let's keep on going. A small escape pod is adrift at this location. Judging from the markings, this pod originated from some multiversal equivalent of Earth. Someone likely had to abandon their universe and wound up at the drop point. There's no sign of a ship that this pod may have ejected from. However, before you can pick it up, a rebel intercepts.
This human will no doubt make a fine recruit for the rebel cause.
You get ready for combat. Okay, so they have a drone and they have a laser. Let's go for the laser first this time. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and also let's do that. Getting more power soon would be pretty damn useful. So probably taking damage here. Yeah. But probably only one. The fight is most likely now kind of over. Okay, that's very nice. I heard the hull breach there. And now let's go for the drone. It might even, if its travel distance is short enough, it might even get... Well, now it can't, but it might have even been able to deal damage on its own. Okay, so now I could use this. Let's try it out. Double speed. There we go. Another rebel turned to dust. Whether it's the signature orange of mainstay rebels or the blue of these specialized invaders, a dead rebel is the only good rebel. With a couple exceptions, of course. You'd fancy a rebel who gave you free scrap. That would be a good rebel for sure. Okay, so we are not necessarily going all out extermination style, which is good. The pod is still adrift. It's unlikely to be a trap, but sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry. Okay, so it definitely might be a trap of some kind. There is an event in the vanilla game. I don't think this is the same one, but it might be similar, where in the vanilla game you can find one of these escape pods adrift, and I think it's always a mantis, and occasionally it will kill a random crew member. But I will take the risk. Take the pod. The resident of the pod is surprised, as they didn't expect to end up in this universe. You explain your mission, but the human inside seems hesitant to get involved in this conflict without learning more. They request to be dropped off at a nearby colony. Okay, so we get a quest out of that. That's good. So, how nearby is it? It's very nearby. Okay, so, okay. Sure. I'm not going to the merchant. Let's do the quest. The human thanks you for delivering them to a colony. This timeline seems more stable than the one I came from, at least. I might join your cause, but give me some time to think about it. In the meantime, I have a reactor core that I hope you will find useful. Okay, so he says give him some time, so if I come back here later, is there a chance that he might join us? Anyways, upgraded reactor by 1, and that's very nice. So now, I still can't afford the next weapons system upgrade, but I'm getting there, and I think that's probably going to be the next upgrade instead of engines or shields, since I now have this weapon. It definitely might have been a mistake buying this, but yeah, anyways, like I said, I want to experiment on this first run here. Okay, and in the vanilla game, I'm usually pretty confident in actually fighting the rebel fleet when it comes. Not sure if that's a smart choice here, but anyways, let's at least try to get as much value out of this sector as we can. Which is, well, there's a couple of beacons left here. A blip on the communicator shows an incoming transmission from a Zoltan ship out of your field of view. When you pick up, you are greeted by the unwelcome sounds of a raving madman screeching about hovering beneath the prophet eye. He demands a prayer and offering, or else suffer his wrath. Okay, a Zoltan ship, huh? I think I'll refuse instead of paying that bribe. So that's going to lead to combat, I presume. The Zoltan shouts an insult or two at you, but eventually his ramblings go quiet and the ship jumps away. As far as you can tell, nothing bad has happened from this, and likely never will. Okay. Well, as in vanilla, this added these new events, I think this is a new event, will have multiple outcomes, which are randomized unless you get a blue option from a crew member or something else. Anyways, that was kind of a waste of time. Alright, so that's my current location. Let's go here. I've already visited this place as well. Though, yeah, since we can do the salvage things, there is some merit in visiting locations that you've already been to. And also, yes, that works very well with the augmentation that we have, which I haven't used yet. Anyway, nearby are some Federation fortifications that have taken heavy damage. A couple of workers are busy trying to patch up the damage. Hail and ask if they need any assistance.
Any help you could offer would be a lifesaver. We only just barely managed to chase away those damn rebels, and they'll no doubt be returning with reinforcements soon. We're undermanned and we won't be able to get these repairs done in time.
Okay, so I could offer to wait behind longer and fight off the rebels, or lend a crew member to stay and assist them. Well, I think I'll choose option number 1, but I'm not sure if that's actually a good thing. Surely we'll get some kind of reward out of this, but I hope it's not going to be a rebel fleet delay, because that's meaningless. If I lend a crew member to stay... So my assumption at this point is that I can get them back, but they have to spend some time here, and since the rebel fleet is incoming, I actually won't be able to get them back. Well, let's pick option number 1. You wait behind until you spot a small squadron of rebel ships approaching. Hurry to combat positions. Fleet pursuit doubled for 1 jump. And we are fighting a rebel instigator. Okay, and this is probably the same bomb type weapon we had before. Anyways, target the weapons. Should be fairly straightforward. Okay, let's do that. There we go. And now I can probably do this again and go double speed. Is there a hotkey for that? Probably, but it doesn't show here. There we go. And we get an additional reward. That's good. It appears the rest of the rebel squadron is trying to flee after watching their comrades be destroyed by you. The Federation officers thank you and offer payment. There we go. Probably worth it. Though that does mean, since the fleet pursuit was doubled, the exit is now in danger. Oh well. Also, let's lower the speed there. You found the exit beacon, but the rebels have already arrived, and an elite is dispatched to track you. Okay, that's bad. I would imagine that we can get away from this, but it's going to be costly. The Federation forces are retaliating, but you must still jump as soon as possible to the next sector. Yeah, this might even end the run. Yeah. Anyways, it is what it is. I took a calculated gamble there. Like I said, I'm going to be choosing... Also, I should probably do this. Choosing the options that aren't necessarily optimal for my survival in the early stages. Okay, that's very helpful though. That might actually have saved us. And we can let the oxygen go down all the way to 0 even. That's going to hurt if that hits. Hopefully it's not the engines or the piloting. Ouch. Okay, let's vent that area. That's the oxygen. That's kind of convenient, but kind of not, since I will need to repair that. Okay, so as soon as I can jump, I will get the hell out of here. God damn it. Okay, that might mean death. Let's repair that. At least this can... This doesn't go down here. I might even be actually able to destroy this ship, though. Anyways, we might be done for. Let's open all of the doors, I think, to spread the oxygen around more efficiently. And then I will need to repair this as well, like, immediately. Okay, good. And we are charging the FTL. We're actually doing pretty well. Yeah. We have the plant guy. Thank you, Orchid Floral. So we're actually doing decently with the oxygen. Or good, even. And we can, it seems, even destroy this ship. If I remember correctly, you only get 1 fuel out of that in vanilla, but I wonder if that's different. Though, yeah, we also have the ASB target lock. We also do have that. Anyways. Go and repair that, despite the oxygen level being okay. Yeah. Well, we did manage to destroy it. Yay. And indeed, we only get 1 fuel. Also, that does increase my score, though, but that is kind of meaningless. You've managed to defeat the fleet ship, but you hardly have enough time to salvage more than a single fuel canister, so yeah, it's kind of not worth it, usually. Unless you are farming score to destroy these. Anyways, let's get the hell out of here. To the next sector. So we have Outcast Regions or Free Mantis Precinct. I don't know what this Outcast Regions is. I'm not looking forward to fighting mantises either, but I suppose we'll be probably fine. They'll do a lot of boarding, but I have a mantis of my own. But I think I'll go to the Outcast Regions. You've entered hyperspeed. You catch a brief glimpse of what you think might be another ship in hyperspeed as well, but they quickly pass by. While in hyperspeed, you have several options. You can proceed to your next sector or do something aboard the ship first. Okay, let's learn about the Outlaws. The Atlas is used to guide ships through hyperspeed and ensure they do not jump into hazardous conditions. To do this, sectors must enter the coordinates of their start beacon into the Atlas so that ships may be directed to it. Your Atlas is currently pulling from the Federation database, but may be updated with new coordinates you find on your travels. So we have, what are locations of interest? What does the exclamation mark represent? Okay, that's quests. How do I reroute locations? What is the rebel threat level? What are fleet types? What are locations of interest? Locations of interest have been marked in certain sectors to denote a possible location that might be of benefit to visit. Usually these do not come with coordinates attached, so you will have to find them yourself. Some sectors do not have locations of interest marked, but that does not mean they don't have any. It only means said location is currently unknown to you. Some sectors have multiple locations of interest. Okay, so it's going to take probably hundreds of hours to actually get the most of the content in the mod unlocked, I would imagine. And I suppose that's a good thing. Nah, let's not read any further as of this point. Let's proceed to the Outcast sector. Outcast controlled sector, friendly, unique, false, dominant faction. Okay, it's rocks. Rock outcasts. Rebel threat level low. Okay, since this is a rock sector, there's going to probably be asteroid fields, and that's going to be a problem with 1 bar of shields. And the hull at 17. These sectors were once filled with industry and held strongly by the theocracy. However, in recent times, as the elders' grasp slowly slips from their empire, these lands have become the prime locations for the political dissidents and refugees exiled from their old homes. Apparently, agents sent by the Crystalline Empire, working for the Sister Species Liberation Group, have taken a residence among the outcasts as well. And also, yes, the crystal thingamajig, which you can unlock by visiting a hidden sector via a quest in the vanilla game. Yeah, surely the Multiverse mod will have something more with those in it, I would imagine. So perhaps more crystal sectors? I don't know. Anyway, it's been a long time since I last actually played FTL and got to the crystal sector. Apparently sectors like these are where the legendary Dread Pirate Tuco once lived. Dread Pirate Tuco. Now you can find all kinds of people here. Even the Crystal Empire has begun sending liberators to the theocracy who have found an unexpected sanctuary among the outcasts. Perhaps you could find the same luck here. Okay, so we have an outcast god. So if I want to piece off the entire sector and get some rewards by destroying their ships, I guess I could attack the god. I'm not going to be doing that. I don't think I'll ignore it either. The outcasts have no formal structure, but the sudden epidemic of slavers haunting these sectors has forced them to tighten their security. The guard here eyes you warily, but decides you aren't a threat and keeps their distance. The captain of the guard vessel strokes the faint patch of moss on her chin and grinds it between her fingers with a mixture of irritation and hesitant curiosity. She awaits your message. Okay, so I can request or demand supplies. I'm not going to demand. I'm going to beg, though, since... Sure, why not? Though even that might perhaps lower my reputation here. I don't know. But let's request some supplies. We actually get them. It is unusual for the Federation to come here, and uncharacteristic for them to request aid from a people with little to offer in material. However, I am a believer that good actions are a cycle, and though my brothers and sisters might not agree, I will oblige your request. Thanks. That's semi-helpful. I'm not actually using missiles as of this point, but perhaps I can get rid of them at an event or eventually find a missile launcher. Okay, and let's repair this. There we go. And also return crew to safe positions. There we are, and get these back like that. Why are you going down? What the hell? What? What? I have oxygen on. Why are you losing health? I am confused. I'm very confused. I should have the option, the quality of life option on as well to automatically replenish health and oxygen. Why are they going down? I have powered life support as well as medbay. What the hell? Oh, you don't have oxygen there. Okay, maybe that's the reason. Yeah, that makes sense. I am sometimes very slow, but I'm still not getting the automatic refresh there for some reason. Why not? Was it here that I can change that? No, it's not here. It's here, right? Instant clone heal out of combat currently enabled. I am not in combat. Okay, maybe this is a bug or I'm just very confused. Anyways, it's not a big deal, I guess. So let's do that. Back to your stations and... okay, I have 88 scrap. So I really want to get the weapon online here, but I also kind of probably am at a point in the game where more shields is becoming nearly mandatory. Especially since I don't have cloaking. Other things are useful as well, like perhaps better doors. Don't think that's going to be a good choice at this point though. So can I... yeah, that's 70. Let's take a look at the map. Okay, I don't see a merchant. I see an outpost over there. A Federation outpost is detected here. I like the music. Anyway, so yeah, do I immediately upgrade something is the question. I think it's between the weapons and the shields. Not sure what kind of opposition we'll face here, but like I said, since this is a rock sector, it's pretty likely, I think, that we'll get some asteroid fields. So let's do the shields. And probably the next upgrade will be more power. I can't actually power everything as of this point. Let's go to the outpost, so go through here. Also lower the speed. A small outcast village appears to be under occupation by slavers who have chained up several rockmen but are firing at a band of outcasts who seem to have escaped. Intervene! You land nearby and walk towards them when the slavers suddenly drop their weapons and their leader falls to his knees and pleads before you. Oh, great Federation Captain, you have come to save us from these cruel brutes. They have killed my men, and I had no choice but to slaughter their families. It was only self-defense. I have restrained them here so they can kill no one else. Please, oh please, will you help us arrest these evil men and women? You look at the outcasts at the other end of the town who merely shrug. Well, I don't think I believe you, so let's aid the outcasts instead. Though maybe there's a chance that the so-called slavers are actually the so-called good guys, or maybe there aren't any good guys, but certainly doesn't seem like the good option, the neutral, or even a neutral option to slaughter their families. So let's aid the outcasts. Though, yeah, obviously sometimes it will be better to choose the so-called evil options. And this looks like it will potentially be a challenge. There will be boarding. Yeah, hopefully not more than like 2. And even 2 mantis will be a problem. Anyways, these guys aren't fooling anyone. When the slavers see their clever trick has failed, they scramble for their guns and prepare to fight you. Reputation decreased slavers. Okay, so you can actually probably get like good reputation with the slavers. You can maybe even become a slaver yourself. Your actions here will reflect poorly upon slavers who might offer you their services. They might no longer offer you better deals if you had previously gained reputation before. Too bad. Okay. So we have... what are you? A free mantis. Okay, so it's mantis on mantis, and we can provide support with perhaps jacks here. They have a beam weapon and no drone, so we don't actually need to be worried about that at all. So I guess I'll just go for... they don't even have any kind of healing, it looks like. Anyway, so let's go for the engines and piloting. Let's bring you here. And let's activate the thing. How do I... why is it not as an option there? What? I'm confused again. And do I need to click this? No. What's going on? Oh, I had the wrong guy. Yeah, that's... yeah, okay. My bad. I am sometimes kind of a doofus. If not all of the time. Also, what the hell was that? A heal bomb? I don't see a bomb here. What was that? I have no idea. Oh, was it this? Yes, probably this. Except it's not. Do you have like a special ability of some kind that I'm missing? Block. Let's see. I don't actually see anything like that. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. Anyways, he's dead, so we should be a-okay. And now I can just focus on other things if I'd like. Sure. I can actually try to kill the crew here. I don't know how many of them there are, though. Well, anyways, we have 2 more invading. So we have a mantis and a human. I wonder why they sent only 1 mantis first. Okay. Maybe it's not the best option. They might even have more crew. Let's go for the teleporter. This is going to take a bit of micromanagement. Let's go here to heal up, and you go there as well. Okay, they're going there as well. Okay, that solves the fight, basically. So the AI may have been improved, but at least the boarding AI seems to be pretty stupid still. Why would you go to the med bay like that? Anyways... well, then again. They don't have cloning. I've killed 1 and 2 of them are over here, so maybe there's a chance I can actually suffocate them. Let's see. Probably not, since I've dealt that much damage, but maybe. Okay, let's withhold on attacking for now. Okay, since they did repair the teleporter and got back there, I don't think we any longer have any chance of suffocating them, so let's just kill them. The slavers are dead, and rightfully so. You scrapped their ship. Thank you, Captain. For a moment I feared you might actually side with the slavers. You have all of our thanks, and we get a Burst Laser Mark 1, which means we have 4 laser weapons, which might actually be enough, at least when combined with drones or something, to deal with the end game here. But yes, obviously I do need to actually upgrade my weapons systems to make use of those weapons. Notoriety decreased, outcasts. You have done a good deed here in the eyes of the outcasts. If you've gained notoriety from other actions in the past, you're more likely to be forgiven for them. There we go. Nice. Okay, return to your stations. So I have 56 scrap now, which means I can actually afford this. One more weapon control, which might be a good idea. However, power would also be nice. Let's go to the outpost here. I'm going to assume that the game will not lie about outposts, though there might be like perhaps events associated with this which do lead to combat. And now that I think about it, if that's the case, should I actually spend some scrap here? Yeah, I think maybe I should. Let's get 2 reactors. Reactor bars, and after that the priority I think will be the weapon control. There we go. That's some added safety. Okay, in the strange territory the outcasts call their home. It's not unusual to find all sorts of odd things. Still, the Federation outpost here comes as a surprise. A welcome one to be sure, however, and as soon as you approach, they open their hangar doors to allow you inside. Okay, so we are able to get fuel, ammunition, or drone parts. Let's go with fuel. Attack the outpost. Okay, that's an option. Let's not, though. Okay, so kind of useful, but honestly not that useful. Also, I need to remember that I can actually do things here as well. So I need to... Well, in the future I will have a better idea of what's actually good at what point in the game. But yes, you can spend scrap here, or the ship upgrade screen, or in events, or in stores. So some prioritization is in order. Okay, but yeah, I don't have any scrap, so let's not bother as of this point. Pirate store. Okay, no stores for me, thanks. Let's go here. Also, since I do have the augmentation, I should probably be able to see any asteroid belts and other special locations, right? So maybe I upgraded the shields needlessly early. Maybe. A small makeshift T-Kaka outpost has been constructed nearby for holding slaves. Judging from the fact they don't hail you, it's pretty clear they aren't open to trading. Okay, well, I'm going to be the good guy here. Okay, so this is a Zoltan slaver ship. Interesting. They also seem to have a missile launcher, which is pretty terrible for us. Even if they were open to selling to you, you wouldn't care. Slavery is immoral. And you're going to free these people. Okay, reputation decreased again. Yeah. Okay, and that's an ion weapon, it looks like. So first I need to get rid of the special shields, which might take some time. I don't think the piercing will help there. Anyways, I could also, since I have 3 bars in the weapons system, I could use these 3 weapons and skip the pierce, but is there a point? I mean, it's more shots, and now it might be better to do that, probably. Let's do it. Let's do it. So rearrange these. Let's put this in slot number 1. And let's target the weapons with everything, like so. Pretty soon I will need some repairs though. It's very likely I'll take more damage here. Don't need to worry about the ion weapon, probably, but the missile will be bad. Okay, 1 damage, that's not terrible, especially when it doesn't hit a system. And I'll just go with the auto-firing here still. Okay, that's good. And that's the fight basically over. Let's run with this selection of weaponry for now. The slavers are dead. You scrap their ship. Free the slaves. You free all of the slaves that the slavers had held captive at the camp. Most of them you simply release nearby at an outcast village, but one offers to help your mission. We get... I think this is a Zoltan, but it looks a bit different. Anyways, he's called Bomfi M. What are you, Bomfi? Why did that not... Well, anyway, you're over here. So you're a... Yes, you are a Zoltan. And Zoltans, like in vanilla, provides power to occupied system. Max health is reduced to 75. 15 damage to enemy crew on death. Oh, only enemy. Okay, that's a change, I think. I think in vanilla it's friendly fire as well. Anyways, yeah, I think I'll put you to shields, Mr. Zoltan, which frees up the Mantis Thomas block. And I guess I could rename these guys, but I'm not going to bother. So let's put Thomas, I think, to the door system. Okay, there we go. 34 scrap. I'll hang on to it for now. Let's definitely not go to the store. Yeah, like I said earlier, I could probably make some good use out of the advanced navigator, but at least so far I haven't figured out, at least with these map layouts, just how. Anyway. So I could head here and basically hug the so-called rebel wall, if you will, if I wanted to, but let's not do that. So here's the exit at the top right. Okay, I'll visit this one, I think. As soon as you catch sight of the ship at this beacon, you regret coming here. Looks like the coalition has penetrated into this territory. You promptly receive a hail from the ship. Respond. The captain of the vessel, a slug dressed in a cheap lab coat, appears on the screen.
Now, I know this is unconventional, but the coalition can't wait. I am on a quest for science. Specifically, I wish to understand what about the outcasts grants them such amplified abilities in the presence of each other. My own crew is not so willing to assist me, the lazy bastards. So I request you go and obtain a few bodies from the nearby outcast colony for pay, of course. No one does it for free anymore.
So I do have a blue option, human crew. Teamwork makes the dream work. Sure.
What the hell did you just say to me? Humans and their stupid cheesy places. What does that have to do with anything anyways?
Outcasts get their abilities from teamwork. Okay, that voice is really taxing, so I'll just read this. What? Teamwork? I've heard of that, but I have yet to identify the genome. Is that some kind of genetic trait shared by outcasts? I shall research this further. This has been a massive help. Okay, so get an immediate reward. Hooray. Oh, and there's another store. Okay, I'm not happy about that. I think I'll go this way. So let's skip this one and go here. Renegade! Normally I would not go out of my way to interact with your kind, but I have made a dreadful mistake. I had received some intel on the location of a Rockman settlement. I told our ship to go out and liberate it from the theocracy, but it seems that I have jumped to conclusions. It was actually an outcast settlement, not a theocracy one. Please, you have to contact my people before it is too late. You have to tell them to protect the settlement, not attack it. Okay, sure. The crystal looks relieved. I'll send you the coordinates. Please, you have to hurry before tragedy strikes. Okay, so over there. We should be able to do this. Probably? Well, we'll see. Distress. One of the Outcast's signature ramshackle villages has been constructed aboard an old mining platform, abandoned after the diminished density of nearby asteroid fields. Seems they have a request for you, and speaking of asteroid fields, I haven't encountered even one. So yeah, the shields... too early, maybe. Please, you must help us. The SSLG and Lost Sons are in a constant feud, and it is driving us mad. Now they've come concerningly close to our village, and if a conflict breaks out, we will be caught in the middle. Could you please diffuse the tensions between them before it escalates? We'll pay you in advance. We trust you to do the right thing. Sure, why the hell not? You travel not too much further until you find a standoff between two vessels. Their captains are currently engaged in a furious shouting match, calling each other creative insults such as son of a four stone and sediment for brains. No kidding when they said it was heated. Okay, so I could immediately choose a side, but let's try to be diplomatic. Both the Crystal and the Rockman turn to you in confusion, and you try to explain your point to them. However, they merely mute you and go back to shouting. This won't work. Okay, so I kind of forgot the quest giver was... were they a part of one of these factions? Anyways, I'll just choose a side here, I guess. Let's attack the SSLG. You open fire on the crystals, and like cowards, the Lost Sun ship jumps away. Disappointing, but at least you'll be able to reap the rewards from this fight. You get ready for combat? Yeah, okay. So crystal weapons, and let's go for the shields. Okay, that hurts a bit, but only a bit. And I can pretty much ignore it as well. Okay, continue focusing on the weapons. And now, also did I? Yeah, actually, whoopsie daisy, I forgot I have 3 weapons. Oh well, that's fine. So I definitely probably should synchronize these weapons at some point. Anyways, let's destroy this ship here. Captain, I'm sure our differences can be settled over some scrap. Yes, I've come to understand. This is how things are done here. Think I will accept this time. The offer isn't fantastic, but I don't know. Do I get more out of destroying them? Perhaps not. Though it's possible that the other faction will actually reward me if I do destroy them. Even though their ship jumped away. Not sure. Nah, let's not be diplomatic anymore. Let's actually silence them with our weapons. We are not necessarily the good guys. Remarkably, the ruins of the crystal ship could easily be mistaken as smaller crystal ships. Glad you don't actually have more enemies to fight. You scrap your latest victim. Yeah. Okay, nothing further from that. Anyways, I am really liking this mod so far. Obviously, it still has plenty of things for me to discover. Haven't unlocked anything as of yet, though I suppose once this run either fails or succeeds, it most likely will fail, but I guess there's a chance it will succeed. We will be unlocking new ships and maybe something else. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I shall continue this run next time.